Hey, it's John again. Playing Immaculate Grid, although this is one of those videos like one I had a couple weeks ago where the video file got corrupted and wasn't able to save. So I probably got to figure that out, figure out a better video software than what I'm using. But in the meantime, I'll still go ahead and play and just show you what I did. Spoiler alert, didn't get it. I missed the top right, which was one where you could it was easy enough to get it right, but it was going to be harder to get it right with a low rarity score. So I'll walk through the my process. I did want to show yesterday's game really briefly here, just to go through what I think I could have done. And let's see, there it is. Um, yep. So yesterday was White Sox and Orioles, Astros, Angels, 500 home runs. So the optimal move here would have been to go, what was it? So I went with Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr. because both only played a part of a single season with each team. But Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, pretty popular players. The optimal move, I was correct that the optimal move, I caught myself mid-game, was to go Reggie Jackson after I'd already picked. Reggie Jackson here. He drew about 4% for his lone season in Baltimore, which I did talk about in my book, Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities, which the link will be in the description. And then on White Sox, Sammy Sosa would have been all right. I think a little bit better than Griffey, but even better than that would have been Manny Ramirez, who played like a couple months, I think, with the White Sox. I want to say 2010, traded away from the Dodgers. And then up here, I was on 40 home runs. I was right about Hidalgo, Richard Hidalgo. Albert Pujols, as it turns out, was a better pick, a lower rarity score than Troy Gloss was, which was kind of surprising. But then again, like Albert Pujols was largely a disappointment for the Angels, so it kind of makes sense that maybe his 40 home run season kind of got forgotten about, even for Albert Pujols hitting 40 home runs while hitting 245 is not like an Albert Pujols season, right? So I guess that kind of made sense. Gloss for his part at 240 homer seasons right before then being World Series MVP with that 2002 Angels team. He didn't have as good a regular season, but he did get included in my book because I wrote about players who had great seasons 1 year off from their big team season. In any event, I am going to, let's see, I guess easiest way is I'll stop sharing this. I'll start sharing my second attempt. I guess this is Baseball Reference, and I'll just click Play Immaculate Grid, and there we go. We're playing again. Like I said, I came up short. This was the one that got me right away. I did know Garrett Cole would work. I think I got while I was doing it, I got that AJ Burnett would work. But I thought those rarity scores would be too high. Francisco Liriano will also work. Really good one. Really good one. From 2004 was a sneaky good season that I hadn't seen before. Or I'm sure I had seen it. I was a Brewers fan in 2004, still am. But the Brewers would have played the Pirates a lot. I'm sure I would have witnessed this season. But Oliver Perez had a sub 3 ERA and struck out over 200 people for an otherwise hapless 2004 Pirates team. So it just had never occurred to me that Oliver Perez was out here doing great things for Pittsburgh, at least in that season. And then let's see. There was, oh shit, I've already forgotten his name. Um, I'll show it at the end, but it was a guy in the 60s who struck out 200 people a bunch of times. I guessed Harvey Haddix, who threw a 14 inning complete perfect game against the Milwaukee Braves at Milwaukee County Stadium, but then lost in the 15th inning. He was pitching for the Pirates against the Braves. Haddix incidentally also works over here. Because I was looking at his career, he played for the Reds. Um, and then there was someone, I want to say Ed Morris was his name. I'm just gonna do it here. Yeah, this guy. had like 300 strikeouts in 550 innings pitched in the 1880s. That was the good one. You know what? I'm gonna throw him down. Harvey Hacks doesn't work. Spoiler alert. All right, so he goes just under 1%. That's a serious look right there. This one I did get with a um an early century player. I thought about Lefty Grove, but it went even earlier. I think Hudson works, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say Vita Blue will work. We can take a look at that later. Zito. I think Zito was the highest grossing one, but let's go with the one I did pick, which was Rube Waddell. He has a pretty intense looking picture. In fact, these guys stacked on top of each other is going to be an interesting look. See, man, look at these intense looks from these gentlemen. And then let's see. I did get Braves right. Okay, this one I'm pretty proud of. It's a shame it came in a loss that also a game I lost and a game in which my video was corrupted, but I actually came up with it in real time. Smoltz works, Maddox works. Max did have not known as a strikeout guy, but he had 200 strikeouts in a season, ended up with over 3,000 for his career. Um, and I think Phil Necro probably would have worked. I wasn't sure about Spawn or Sane. Like Spawn pitched a long time, but I don't think had 3,000 strikeouts. So I meant he probably didn't have 200 in a season. But the person I did go with, I was pretty psyched about because it was a player who played 1 year in Atlanta, got Cy Young votes, caused a little bit of a controversy with getting those Cy Young votes, or rather the voter, Keith Law, who voted for him for, I think, third place. Um, Caused some controversy because Tony La Russa was convinced that Keith Law's vote for this player had cost Adam Wainwright the Cy Young Award that year. Turns out that wasn't true. It was mathematically false that Keith Law had cost Adam Wainwright the Cy Young Award by voting or casting, I think, a third place vote. Maybe it was a second place vote, but it allowed Tim Lincecum to prevail, and that was for Javier Vasquez. Played 1 year in Atlanta and had a great year, 2009, over 200 strikeouts. So let's get him in there. I went back to Kevin Mitchell for this one. Let's see. I didn't use Al Simmons. I could have used Al Simmons here or here. I went with Ernie Lombardi here. It's one of the slowest players in baseball history. In fact, when I was reading about baseball, I was really young. Like Ernie Lombardi was like it was like a foregone conclusion that he was the slowest player in baseball history. I don't know if it's actually true. Late stage Kevin Mitchell looked pretty slow. So he got those numbers. Oh, I got this. So yeah, like I said, Al Simmons probably would have been an even better pick here, but what I went with was Javi Lopez, who had a great year in Atlanta in 2003, hit 43 home runs, signed a free agent deal with Baltimore, and I think his last season was traded to Boston. So this went sub 1%. Al Simmons probably would have been better. I like using Al Simmons wherever I can. I think he's like 0.7, 0.8. Let's see here. And then on Reds and A's, I went with Jose Guillen just because I couldn't come up with him for a correct answer a long time ago. He also would have worked for Pirates and Reds, for whom I actually did let's see, for Pirates and Reds, I did Frank Thomas the first, but I've done him a bunch of times, so I'm not gonna feel bad about let's throw Harvey Haddix in here. And then now I'm trying to think who did I actually play for Red Sox and Pirates? Because I had to think about this one. I was thinking like Wakefield is a pretty good example. Jason Bay will work. He was part of a three-way trade that got Manny Ramirez out in, I think it was all one trade, but Manny Ramirez ended up with the Dodgers and Jason Bay came over from the Pirates to the Red Sox. But that's not who I went with either. Um, I say just go with one of those guys since this game doesn't really count since I already played. Let's see. Both, yeah, these are both older teams. They played in the first World Series. Um, this is actually fun. I can't remember who I picked, and now I'm trying to come up with it or come up with someone better than who I did pick. What if Freddie Sanchez? Did Freddie Sanchez play for both teams? It's not who I picked the first time, but that'd be an interesting pick. I think he might have played for the Red Sox briefly. Um, what if Oliver Perez? Um, Man, why am I not even coming out? I just played him like 15 minutes ago. You know what? I'm gonna go with Freddie Sanchez, and I'll look it up in a second here who I picked. Yeah, he takes 1%. So six was about the score I was rocking at the time. Um, yeah, so we'll show these. Yeah, so Cole, Liriano, Burnett, Oliver Perez with a sneaky good 2004 season, 239 strikeouts. That's a great year. Bob Veal was the name I wasn't able to come up with, and then Ed Morris is the guy I cheated with there. And then yeah, I hit Rube Waddell. Lefty Grove does work once, just one time though. You get Zito, you get Dave Stewart, Stottlemyre. That's kind of sneaky. Frankie Montas a couple years ago. But yeah, Waddell a bunch of times, Eddie Plank a couple times. It's a interesting cast there. Um, so anyway, sorry again for losing the video. I'll at some point I'll you know get a superior video recording software, or maybe I'll just start going live on YouTube. Part of the reason I don't want to go live on YouTube is I don't want anyone giving me answers while I'm playing. So um and this way if I mess up in my intro, I get to redo it. But I always want to give you my first live look in at the grid as I'm playing. So I do try to do that. Let me see who did I come up with here. Rich Hill's the most Pokey Reese. That's who I came up with. Pokey Reese, who got 2%, which was a bit high just because I guess I was higher than Sanchez. Pokey Reese was on the 2004 Red Sox, so I should have known better than to go with the 2004 Red Sox. But yeah, he got 2%. Anyway, I still have fun doing this. I'm hoping this time it saves and I can at least get a video out there. But in the meantime, keep the comments coming. I'll try to make the video quality better at some point in terms of getting it to save. That would be an improvement at this point. But appreciate all the support, all the comments, all the likes. I love bantering with baseball with y'all. It's a lot of fun. So with that being said, have a good night. Take care, and I'll be back at it tomorrow. Peace.